Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you all today. Thank you for being here. Today we'll be exploring a very important topic, heavy metal contamination in Ayurvedic medicines. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, holding a Ph.D. in this field. Over the course of this presentation, we'll look into the potential risks, the current situation, and what can be done to ensure safety in these traditional medicines. So, let's dive in and understand this crucial issue together. Let's start with an overview of Ayurvedic medicines. Ayurveda is one of the oldest traditional systems of medicine practiced around the world, with a rich history spanning thousands of years. It encompasses a wide variety of formulations, which include herbal, mineral, and even herbo-mineral preparations. Now, some of these formulations, particularly under the practice of Rasa Shastra, intentionally contain metals to enhance their therapeutic effects. However, this practice raises important safety considerations. Heavy metal contamination has become a major public health and regulatory concern globally. As the popularity of Ayurvedic medicines increases, so does the need for strict quality and safety regulations. This is crucial because the presence of toxic metals beyond permissible limits can lead to serious health complications. So, understanding these risks is essential for ensuring that these traditional medicines remain safe and effective for everyone. Let's take a closer look at the sources of contamination. Environmental pollution is a significant factor, as it can introduce harmful substances into the soil and water that are used in herbal preparations. Contaminated soil and water can then lead to the presence of toxins in raw materials. Additionally, improper purification processes, known as shidhana, can fail to remove these toxic elements effectively. Cross-contamination during manufacturing is another common issue, where contaminants can inadvertently be transferred from one product to another. The use of non-standard raw materials also contributes to contamination risks, as these may not meet safety guidelines. Now, turning to the issue of heavy metals in Ayurvedic medicines, it's important to understand what these metals are and why they matter. Heavy metals like lead, mercury, arsenic, and cadmium are naturally present in the environment, but they can also contaminate raw materials through various sources, such as polluted soil or water, or during processing. Let's look at some common examples. Lead, or Pb, often comes from contaminated raw materials and processing equipment. It can cause neurotoxicity and anemia, which are serious health concerns. Mercury, or Hg, is sometimes found in Rasa Shastra preparations or due to contamination, and it can damage the kidneys and nervous system. Arsenic, can be present in mineral ingredients or due to environmental contamination, and it's known for its carcinogenic effects. Lastly, cadmium, seed, can enter through soil contamination or industrial pollution, leading to kidney and bone damage. So, understanding these sources and the potential health impacts of heavy metals helps us appreciate the importance of rigorous quality control in Ayurvedic medicine manufacturing. Now, let's explore the Ayurvedic perspective on metals. In traditional Ayurveda, metals and minerals play a significant role in various formulations, particularly in what are called basma preparations. These are specialized medicines created through specific processes. Traditional texts describe detailed detoxification and purification procedures to prepare these metals for medicinal use. The key processes involved include shidhana, which is a purification step, marana, or incineration and calcination, and bhavana, where the metals are triturated with herbal extracts. The main goal of these processes is to transform the metals into forms that are more bioavailable and, supposedly, safer for use in the body. However, from a regulatory standpoint, there are challenges to consider. One major concern is the lack of standardization in preparation methods, which can sometimes lead to residual toxic metals remaining in the final product. Therefore, scientific validation and quality assurance are absolutely essential to ensure safety and efficacy. Connecting this to our overall theme, understanding these traditional practices and the need for modern validation helps us appreciate both the potential benefits and the importance of rigorous quality control in Ayurvedic metals-based medicines. Now, let's discuss the health hazards associated with heavy metal exposure. First, when it comes to public health concerns, these metals pose significant risks that can affect entire communities if not properly managed. Certain populations are especially vulnerable, including children, who are still developing and more susceptible to toxic effects, as well as pregnant women, whose exposure can impact fetal development. The elderly and immunocompromised individuals are also at higher risk because their bodies may not handle toxins as effectively. Moving on to the immediate or acute effects, exposure can lead to symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain, which are often the first signs of poisoning. People might also feel fatigue and weakness, and neurological symptoms such as headaches or dizziness can occur, indicating that the nervous system is being affected. Now, the chronic or long-term effects are even more concerning. Prolonged exposure can cause serious damage like kidney failure and liver toxicity. It can also lead to neurodevelopmental disorders in children, which can affect learning and behavior, and reproductive toxicity, impacting fertility and pregnancy outcomes. Lastly, certain heavy metals, particularly arsenic, have been linked to an increased risk of cancers. This highlights the importance of understanding and controlling exposure, especially because these risks can have lasting impacts on individuals and public health as a whole. Connecting all these points back to our overall theme, it's clear that heavy metal exposure is a significant health concern that requires ongoing vigilance and preventive measures to protect vulnerable populations and reduce these health risks. When we look at the global evidence and reported cases, it's clear that scientific findings and international alerts have played a crucial role in highlighting the safety concerns surrounding some Ayurvedic products. Several international studies, published in respected medical journals, have found elevated levels of harmful substances like lead, mercury, and arsenic in certain products. These levels often exceeded the safety limits set by the World Health Organization, which is quite alarming. In response, regulatory agencies in multiple countries have issued safety alerts and even recalled some products from the market. There have also been documented cases around the world where people have experienced lead or mercury poisoning after using Ayurvedic medicines. The key point here is that the risk is mainly linked to how these products are made. Improper manufacturing practices, a lack of standardization, and the presence of unregulated products all contribute to these safety issues. This underscores the importance of strict quality control and regulation to ensure consumer safety and maintain trust in traditional medicine practices. Let's take a closer look at the Indian regulatory framework that governs Ayurvedic medicines. The key authority here is the Ministry of Ayush, which oversees traditional systems of medicine in India. Their role includes developing policies and setting quality standards to ensure safety and efficacy. Moving on, there are several important regulatory bodies under this framework. The Pharmacopoeia Commission for Indian Medicine and Homeopathy, or PCIM&H, works on standardizing medicines and formulations. Then, we have state licensing authorities, or SLAs, which handle licensing and regulation at the state level. Lastly, the Central Drugs Standard Control Organization, or CDSCO, oversees drug safety and regulation nationally. Now, regarding the applicable regulations, the foundation is laid by the Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940, along with its rules from 1945. These laws set the legal framework for manufacturing and marketing medicines. Additionally, Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMP, for Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani, known together as ASU, are crucial to maintaining quality standards throughout the production process. All these elements together form a comprehensive regulatory environment designed to ensure that Ayurvedic medicines in India are safe, effective, and of high quality. This framework is essential as we move forward in understanding how these traditional medicines are integrated into modern healthcare. Let's take a closer look at the testing requirements. First, it's mandatory to conduct heavy metal testing on finished products. This ensures that what reaches the consumer is safe and compliant. Additionally, raw material qualification and vendor approval are essential steps before production begins, helping to maintain quality right from the start. We also perform batch-wise quality testing under Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMP. This means each batch is tested individually to ensure it meets the necessary safety standards. It's important to note that permissible limits for heavy metals can vary depending on the pharmacopoeial standards and specific country regulations. Now, looking at the table, the permissible limits for heavy metals are quite strict. For example, lead or Pb must be at or below 10 parts per million. Arsenic or As should be at or below 3 ppm. Cadmium or Seed is limited to 0.3 ppm, and mercury or Hg must be at or below 1 ppm. These limits are set to protect consumers from potential toxicity. Overall, these testing requirements and limits are critical for ensuring the safety and quality of herbal and Ayurvedic medicines. They help us stay compliant with regulations and uphold our commitment to consumer health. Now, let's take a closer look at the analytical techniques we use for detecting heavy metals. These methods are essential for ensuring safety and compliance in our products. One of the most common techniques is atomic absorption spectroscopy, or AAS. It's a reliable method for measuring specific metal concentrations by analyzing the absorption of light. Then, we have ICP-MS, which stands for inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry. This technique offers incredibly high sensitivity and can detect metals at trace levels, making it ideal for thorough analysis. Another important method is ICP-OES, or optical emission spectroscopy. It allows us to analyze multiple elements simultaneously, which is efficient for comprehensive testing. Lastly, we have X-ray fluorescence, or XRF, a non-destructive technique that can quickly identify and quantify metals in solid samples. Now, regardless of which method we use, there are key quality parameters we need to focus on. Accuracy is crucial because we want our results to reflect the true metal concentrations. Sensitivity determines how small of a quantity we can detect, which is vital when dealing with low-level contaminants. Precision ensures our measurements are consistent over repeated tests, and detection limits tell us the smallest amount that the method can reliably identify. These parameters are fundamental because they help us ensure our testing is reliable and compliant with standards. This, in turn, supports product safety and is essential for export approval, ensuring our products meet all regulatory requirements for heavy metal content. Let's now look at some of the key quality assurance measures we implement to ensure the highest standards. First, the Certificate of Analysis, or COA, provides detailed information about each batch, confirming it meets specified quality parameters. Then, we conduct stability studies to understand how our products maintain their efficacy over time under various conditions. Contamination control systems are also critical. They help us prevent any microbial or particulate contamination during manufacturing. Regular regulatory audits keep us aligned with industry standards and help identify areas for improvement. Moving on, our GMP, or Good Manufacturing Practices, form the backbone of our quality control. This includes controlled sourcing of raw materials, meaning we carefully select and verify our suppliers to ensure consistent quality. We have vendor qualification systems in place to assess and approve suppliers thoroughly. During production, we perform in-process quality checks to catch any issues early on. Equipment validation and calibration are essential to guarantee our machinery operates correctly and consistently. Proper documentation and traceability ensure every step of production can be tracked, which is vital for quality assurance and accountability. All these measures are interconnected and contribute to our overarching goal, delivering safe, effective, and reliable products to our customers. They are fundamental to maintaining trust and meeting regulatory requirements, ultimately supporting our commitment to excellence in manufacturing. Now, let's take a look at the international regulatory expectations that impact herbal medicines today. First, the WHO guidelines emphasize the importance of monitoring heavy metals in herbal products. This is part of a broader risk-based approach to quality assurance, ensuring safety throughout the supply chain. Moving to more specific regions, both the US FDA and the European Union enforce strict contamination limits, which means herbal products must meet high safety standards before reaching consumers. They also require mandatory safety documentation, and if a product doesn't comply, it can be recalled from the market. This creates significant export challenges. Products can be rejected if they contain excessive heavy metals or if the required validated analytical reports are not provided. Additionally, there's increased scrutiny for herbomineral preparations, reflecting the need for rigorous testing and compliance. Overall, these regulations highlight how crucial it is for us to adhere to international standards, not just for safety, but also to ensure smooth market access and maintain consumer trust. Let's talk about some of the key challenges currently faced by the industry. One major issue is the lack of standardization among manufacturers, which makes it difficult to ensure consistent quality across different products. Along with that, there's significant variability in raw material quality, which can impact both safety and efficacy. In smaller manufacturing units, we often see inadequate testing infrastructure, making it harder to verify product safety and quality. Another challenge is the problem of mislabeling and the rise of unregulated online sales, which can put consumers at risk and undermine trust in traditional formulations. There's also ongoing scientific debate about the safety of metallic basma formulations, which has affected the perception of these products globally. Speaking of perceptions, issues related to the global image of Ayurveda and herbal products can influence export opportunities, creating further hurdles for the industry. So, what do we need to address these challenges? The most urgent need is for harmonized standards, creating uniform guidelines that everyone can follow. We also require evidence-based validation to back the safety and efficacy of products, which will help build confidence among consumers and regulators alike. Lastly, establishing strong pharmacovigilance systems is crucial to monitor safety continuously and respond promptly to any adverse effects. Addressing these challenges head-on will be vital for the sustainable growth and global acceptance of our industry. Let's now turn our attention to some important risk mitigation strategies that can help make Ayurvedic products safer for everyone. For manufacturers, it's crucial to implement robust good manufacturing practice systems. This means following strict quality control processes to ensure safety and consistency. Using validated purification methods is also essential to remove harmful contaminants effectively. Additionally, mandatory heavy metal testing should be a standard part of the production process to prevent toxic elements from reaching consumers. And finally, ensuring complete batch traceability helps track the origin and quality of each product, which is vital for accountability and recall if needed. Moving on to regulators, strengthening surveillance and inspection systems is key. Regular monitoring helps catch issues early and ensures compliance with safety standards. Increasing market sampling allows for better oversight and detection of substandard products. Enforcing labeling compliance is also critical, so consumers can make informed choices based on accurate information. Lastly, promoting standardization and research helps develop science-backed guidelines that support safer manufacturing practices. For consumers, the most important step is to purchase products only from licensed and reputable manufacturers. This reduces the risk of encountering unsafe or substandard products. Avoiding self-medication is also essential, as unqualified use can be dangerous. Always verify quality certifications before buying, so you know the product has been tested and meets safety standards. By working together, manufacturers, regulators, and consumers, we can significantly reduce risks and ensure that Ayurvedic products remain safe and effective for everyone. Let's take a look at the future perspectives for Ayurvedic medicine. One of the key areas is advancing safety and regulatory compliance. This involves adopting more advanced analytical technologies to better understand and ensure the quality of our products. We're also working towards developing globally harmonized standards, which will help set consistent safety and efficacy guidelines across different countries. Another important point is the integration of traditional knowledge with modern toxicology. By combining these approaches, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of how these medicines work and ensure they are safe for everyone. Additionally, increasing pharmacovigilance and adverse event reporting will be crucial in monitoring the safety of Ayurvedic medicines once they are in widespread use. Research into nano-sized basma is also gaining attention, particularly regarding its safety and bioavailability. This can open new doors for more effective formulations. Lastly, digital traceability and supply chain monitoring will play a vital role in ensuring the authenticity, safety, and quality of products from production to end user. The overarching goal of all these efforts is to ensure that Ayurvedic medicines are safe, effective, and accepted globally. This will help us build trust and expand the reach of traditional healing practices in a modern, regulated world. So, to wrap up, the issue of heavy metal contamination remains a significant safety concern when it comes to Ayurvedic medicines. It's crucial that we prioritize proper regulation to ensure safety and quality. Compliance with good manufacturing practices, or GMP, plays a vital role in maintaining consistent standards across the industry. Scientific testing is also essential to accurately identify and limit any potential contaminants. When it comes to traditional formulations, they require rigorous quality validation to ensure they are safe for consumers. This is especially important given their long history and cultural significance. Additionally, regulatory harmonization, meaning aligning standards across different countries, can really help improve global acceptance of Ayurvedic products and, most importantly, enhance patient safety worldwide. But none of this can be achieved in isolation. It truly calls for collaborative efforts among regulators, manufacturers, researchers, and healthcare professionals. By working together, we can develop better standards, improve safety protocols, and promote the responsible use of these traditional medicines. Ultimately, our goal is to protect consumers while respecting the rich heritage of Ayurveda. Let's take a moment to look at the references that support our discussion today. First, we have the Ministry of AYUSH guidelines, which provide official standards and protocols for herbal medicine practices in India. These guidelines are essential for ensuring safety and quality. Next, the Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940 is a foundational legal framework that regulates the manufacturing and sale of medicines, including herbal products, helping us maintain integrity in the industry. We also consider the WHO guidelines for herbal medicines, which offer international best practices for quality, safety, and efficacy. The Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India is another key reference, serving as the authoritative source for standard formulations and testing methods in Ayurveda. Additionally, we have numerous published studies that specifically examine heavy metal contamination in Ayurvedic products. These studies are crucial because they highlight potential risks and emphasize the importance of strict quality control. Overall, these references form the backbone of our understanding and ensure that Ayurvedic medicines are safe, effective, and reliable for consumers. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help with any questions or additional information you might need. Feel free to contact us at any time. And with that, I want to sincerely thank you for your time and attention today. It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you, and I look forward to connecting again soon.